have very little patience for folks who have rules like perfect rhyme is the only kind of rhyme that you should use. Um, for me, rhymes are like chords. Um, you know, um, uh, you can voice a chord. Um, even voice the one chord with the five in the bass or the three in the bass, and it will take a little bit of the landing out of it.
Mm.
Um, so that if you take a little bit away from a perfect rhyme, it'll open the gate slightly. If you take a little more away from a perfect rhyme, if you start talking about assonance rhyme, for example, like tide and life,
Mm.
uh, uh, well, that's not a rhyme. Well, I don't really want to argue with you about a definition. What I want to ask you is, do you hear the resonance of the long I sound? Do you hear a sonic connection between those two words?
Mm.
And you can't not answer yes. And the minute you hear that sonic connection, okay, call it whatever you'd like. But there is a difference between tide and life and tide and grow.
Mm.
Um, uh, and you need to recognize that, and it becomes a possible tool
Mm.
for creating instability in a verse, in a second verse, where the first verse is we were really happy together, and the second verse is now everything's gone to crap. Um, but you still have the same number of lines, length of lines, rhythm of lines, rhyme scheme, but now you can open the gate with rhyme types at that point and
Mm.
create a sense of instability with your rhyme types.
Mm.
Who wouldn't want to do that?
Who wouldn't want to do that? And then it also gives you the possibility to really make a point with perfect rhyme. And like the example I often use in my classes, Pat, is a old Death Cab for Cutie song. And I like using this song because it's like the anomaly in their catalog and by far their most popular song. And it's a song that's not full of production, it's not full of arrangement, it's an acoustic guitar and one singer, which means that it's all about the song. It's pure song that is the thing that ignited this song in the imaginations of millions of people. The second verse of that song says, "In Catholic school, as vicious as Roman rule, I got my knuckles bruised by a lady in black. So I held my tongue as she told me, son, fear is the heart of love. So I never went back." And I always say, look, that last line, I never went back, this perfect rhyme resolution to by a lady in black, it wouldn't have the slap in the face that it does. It wouldn't sound like a door slamming as someone's leaving forever if we didn't have tongue, sun, and love immediately before it. It's that this open rhyme, this kind of tension that you're building, this sonic connection, but it's not perfect. And that's the only reason why that last line feels like a door slamming.
Yeah, that's really nice. In my second edition of the Essential Guide to Rhyming, which, as the title indicates, is an essential book, um, I take apart Randy Newman's song "Feels Like Home," and he does exactly the same thing uh, in his uh, in his second pre-chorus. He just slams the door shut. It sounds like a brilliant line, but it's an ordinary line. It's just that it rhymes perfectly, whereas he wasn't even close to perfect rhyme in the same positions in the pre-chorus before.
Mm.
And in fact, "It Feels Like Home" has a consonance rhyme at the end of it too.
These choices have to be sensitive to the song that's being written, and that's why it's never a formula.
Mm.
And the question is the question that again guides that is, how am I feeling? Stable or unstable?
Mm.
And by that, I just reflect to you, and I know that you mean this, is like, not how am I feeling this morning, right? It's what is the feeling I'm trying to express in this song, which
Yeah,
is independent of the mood I wake up on any particular day.
yeah, absolutely.